Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Oh, it went live way too early. That was weird. Interesting. On my screen, it looks like I went live when I went to go close the door, but I hadn't hit the button yet. Very interesting. Well, I am finally here. Hopefully, I am audible. I have multiple microphones here. So one of them should be working. But I have the lapel mic, which is usually attached to me, clipped on to this other mic because I couldn't get this other mic to work. But I'm not wearing the lapel mic because the receiver is dead. So General Kenobi. Hopefully that's working. I'm going to send out a notification in Discord that we are live. I assume since nobody is complaining, everyone can hear me. So that is good. Let me know if I'm a little quiet or anything. We are on just a brick in the bucket. Audio is great. Awesome. We are finally live. Okay, so there we go. Today we are building the Lego. Let's see, Lego Scooby-Doo, and yes, I am on live chat, not talk chat, so don't worry. But yeah, today we are building this set. It is the second Scooby-Doo set I've built on stream. The other one was the Mystery Machine, but today we're building this. Well, I am. Evan is not here. He is on a business trip, unrelated to just a brick in the bucket. I believe his plane just took off coming back. But anyway, he was not able to make it today, so it is just me. I guess I should do the introductions here. Hello, Fun Brick Creations. Welcome, Fidel. Hello, Cran. Hello, Gary. Hello, Doug. Hello, Dunder Mifflin. Hello, Mark Lawn. Welcome. Dunder Mifflin Brickco says I have no audio. Maybe me, though. Does everyone else have audio? Okay. If everyone else has audio, then I'm gonna hope that it's good. Funbrick Creations says I completed the globe last night. I put a short video of it on my channel, and the build will be out shortly. Let's see. I only have audio on my left earbud. Okay, audio seems to be fine for everyone else. I have recentered the mic. This is not the normal audio setup, so there may be inconsistencies. But today, we are going to get started on this and see how things are. See how things go. There it is on my left as well. Interesting. See, I don't actually know. All right, you guys might hear some. You know, I will turn off the mic before I do this. Okay. Let me know if you can still, let me know if there's still, if it's reporting stereo but is actually mono. Interesting. This is very strange. Because basically what I've done is... Oh, that's going to make some noise. Actually, I'm very sorry for that. They're the lapel mics that we usually use. The lapel mics we usually have, like this, connect to these things here called a audio transceiver and receiver, and normally the mic plugs into the transmitter, and then the receiver plugs into the stream box over here. But this did not appear to charge. I don't know why. It's been plugged in since the last stream, but it was dead. So I just have the lapel mic plugged directly into the stream box, and that's not really its intended use. So I'm not exactly sure how that is going to work. I am not an audio technician. Evan knows far more about that than me. But it's probably the best we're going to get today. I don't know why the Blue Yeti was not working at all, but that's just going to be a mystery. So, pretty small set today. I have another one as well, depending on how long things take. Sometimes these sets take like 30 seconds. Sometimes these sets take like 5 hours, depending on how busy chat is in a given day. So, let's see. Someone said something about finishing a set. Fun Recreation says that they finished the globe last night, put up a short video on my channel, and the build videos will come out gradually. Awesome. I'll have to go check that out. Was it a fun build? I have heard a lot of people complaining that it's very repetitive. Hello, Steve. Welcome. Alrighty, so we've got some minifigs here to build. First, Scooby with a ski mask, I believe. Hello, Vincent. Welcome. And then also, I assume, Headless Horseman. I don't know. It's been a very long time since I've watched Scooby-Doo. I do not remember all of the monster names. But, dude with the pumpkin hat. So things have been pretty busy here in the store the last couple days, as we are swapping up our supply and kind of trying to work on some stuff here. So there will be some content about that eventually, but it's been very hectic. So good, lots of pieces are being added. But what about you guys in terms of your stores and stuff? Hello, Astra. Welcome. Funberg Creation says, yeah, it was fun but repetitive, which I enjoy. The worst part, which I didn't record as I needed help, is actually attaching the globe to the stand. I can imagine that would be pretty crazy. Yeah, it's a pretty big set too. I don't remember the exact piece count on that, but do you have a display set up for it, or is it just gonna go on a random shelf somewhere? Hello, Scott. Welcome. But anyway, today's stream probably not going to be the longest here. Just building and then getting back to work in the store, because there's a lot to do. And I got to catch up on vlog content, because we've been very bad this week about shooting vlogs, as is not too atypical for us. But this is interesting. I have not seen a horse, a Lego horse with movable legs. So the back legs on this move. Usually they are static. Interesting. And the head moves. This is very fancy. Vincent says, what kinds of courses are you taking to help you grow, run the store, and how valuable is that knowledge or practice? Evan and I are both getting our business degrees. So, yeah. I mean, a wide variety of stuff that is part of that. I mean, I would say it helps, but I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that it's anything that I couldn't have learned through Google. In fact, the majority of what I've learned for class has been through Google. So, take that as you will. Yeah. More or less, the class just kind of provides a blueprint for me to go and do my own stuff. But, I mean, it has definitely helped. We've implemented a lot of things. We started looking at the store from a, more critical perspective in terms of, running actual analysis on things and, keeping to a budget and all that other kind of stuff. Dunder Mifflin Brick Co. says, has anyone else been having inventory quantity issues? I've been having quantity discrepancies of 10 plus parts missing and missing minifig parts, which never happens. I'm suspecting Brick Freedom. Yeah, I've had a lot of... we haven't had a lot. We've caught a couple weird things. It was mostly on one day, 4 or 5 days ago, I think. There were definitely a couple errors. I think that was the same day that he pushed out the UI update, so maybe something got messed up there. I am not too sure. But, yeah, it definitely seemed like there were a lot of quantity errors or things in the wrong drawer, which is, a little worrying, but I guess it's the way it is. Funbird Creation says, on other news, through the week I got over 100,000 total views, and yesterday I got over 250 subs. Congratulations. Funbird Creation says, if I need help with something, then it's tricky. I haven't worked out where I'll put it yet. I don't have the best style display, but we'll put it on a shelf so it can be seen. Awesome. Vincent says, what really is a business degree, as I'm not an American? I don't know exactly what it would be called elsewhere. I think it's technically a business administration degree. I think is like what it's actually called, an MBA, or a BBA if you're just getting your bachelor's. It's a mixture of economics, accounting, management theory, marketing. Let's see. Business-related social science. Like sociology type stuff. So it's an NBA. I don't know what the N stands for. Over here we call it an MBA, a Master's in Business Administration. But, yeah, probably. Fidel says it's been a slow month for sales for me, but most received orders are from new users, so the BL user base is growing a lot. Yes, there have been a lot of stuff, or a lot of... BrickLink has grown a lot in the last year to 2 years. It's pretty crazy. Let's see. Crayon says, I'm having random problems with part dimensions. Parts have gone from millimeter to centimeter with rounding up errors and causing larger than needed shipping sizes. Anyone else having similar issues on BrickLink? Not that I'm aware of. Most of... Basically everything we ship is weight rather than dimension based, right? USPS cares a lot less about dimension than they do about weight. So we don't usually pay that much attention to that. We just pay attention to the weight. So I'm not actually sure if that's the case. There might be a config in your store settings page. If not, I'd email BrickLink and let them know that they have an issue with their rounding. They may respond in a couple of months or so. They're very slow. But it would be good to let them know if there's no way to change it, or if it was a site-wide change. Vincent says, how long does it take you since you're combining it with working? long time. Yeah, long time. But I mean, being honest, it's really not my highest priority. Just a brick in the bucket is my highest priority. Evan is almost done, but he started school well before I did. I took like 3 years off, so in between high school and college. I think this is his last semester. He may have one more, but yeah, I just started 6 months ago, so. Cran says, might be a problem in Canada. Our letter bubble mailer restriction on Canada Post is very sensitive. Interesting. You have a different restriction for bubble mailers. Here, a bubble mailer is usually just a package, unless it's under 3/4, but we never... sorry, no, it's 1/4. It's 1/4 of an inch. Vincent says to like 5 years. Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's probably going to be an accurate thing. I mean, it really depends on how the store grows and stuff. If I need it, if the income was steady from just a brick in the bucket and it needed more time, then I would, break in between semesters further. If just a brick in the bucket looks like it's not doing too well, then I will put more effort into school. So, it depends on a lot of factors. So, I'm not too sure. Cran says, yes, we can only do 2 centimeters thick max. Interesting. That is very thin. But I'm guessing there's probably a pretty large difference between the shipping rates. But, we just throw things in bubble mailers or in packages and ship them as packages. We don't really take the time to try and get things into letters. Just there's a higher chance of the piece being damaged if it's, just in an envelope. So we usually don't bother with that. Also, you cannot track. At least I do not believe you can track normal letters. What about you, Vincent? Are you almost done with your degree? Because you always talk about school every single time you show up. So I need an update. Because you always seem to be studying for some test or something. For nuclear engineering, I think. Something. Is that your major? Or I guess it would be what, nuclear? Yeah, nuclear engineering. Or radiological engineering. I don't know. That's what I remember, but I could be wrong. In Canada, do most packages ship with tracking, or is tracking something that you have to pay extra for? Because I have never understood the paying extra for tracking thing. But Thunder Mifflin says, not that you asked me, but I'm finishing my bachelor's in IT in 10 weeks. Congratulations. That is definitely a milestone. And now you can get to getting started on paying it off. But I've never really understood, because obviously they have a tracking number internally. So I'm very confused as to why they can't just give you that tracking number. But I guess they want to make more money. Vincent says electrical. Nuclear was too difficult logistically. Understandable. I can imagine that is probably one of the tougher things out there. A insane amount of math, I can imagine. Wow, I'm already almost done with back one, and it has only been like 30-ish. Well, no, less than that because I started late. It has been. There's a clock up here somewhere. Like 15 minutes or something like that. So, yeah, pretty crazy. Canada Post has no tracking for bubble mailers. Optional to add for about $10. But then again, it's only $2.05. $10 for tracking? See, I just don't understand because obviously they have tracking internally, right? I mean, like, that's just insane. I mean, it costs like $4 here to ship a bubble mailer with tracking. And actually, there's no option to not have tracking. So, yeah, I don't understand. Because I would want to know where my package is, right? I don't know, it just feels very strange to just trust the post office to not lose it. But I don't know, maybe that's just because our post office is very confused. Brick Britain says hello from Scotland. Welcome. Great to have you here. Fidel says tracking is always included here. Interesting. So Canada does not, but Mexico does. Small packet, like parcel size, is about $20 that has tracking. Yeah, I don't understand. Why does it cost $10 to give you a number that they already have? Right? I don't know. It's just very strange to me. Cran says it doesn't make sense. And Vincent says it's more as in location, where I would live, transportation, etc. Vincent says, weirdly, nuclear is not that difficult mathematically compared to electrical. Also, the master I'm going to do is mathematical engineering, probably. That is well above my pay grade. I took algebra like 3 times, so math is not my strong suit. At least computational math isn't. I can remember like 3 numbers, like 3 digits in my head at a time before I start forgetting stuff. I have no mental math capability, so. Vincent says I'm also taking algebra. Like just normal algebra or like, some kind of complex algebra. Because the algebra I took was very basic algebra. It was just high school algebra 1, which is, let's see, I mean, quadratics. And, yeah, let's see, what do I remember from that? Quadratics, interest formulas, inflection. Let's see. Whoa, wow. 5 or 6 years ago? Let's see. Man, I don't remember more than that, but yeah. That was algebra. It is always so quiet without another person here on the stream. You know, next time it's just me. I should complain to Kyle and get Kyle in here to help stream, because it has been a very long time since Kyle has appeared on any kind of content. Although we did have Kyle's Part Out party not that long ago. So, Vincent says applied discrete algebra, which is algebra applied to encryption. My teacher is the inventor of the AES system. That is pretty crazy. I don't think my professors have accomplished very much. Fidel says, I spent a couple of hours last week teaching BrickLink to reputable Facebook Lego seller. It might help to expand the user base. It's a real challenge because he didn't know a word of English, but we made it. Does BrickLink have any localization support for other regions? Cran, Paul, you and Evan are so well-mannered and polite. I appreciate all the videos you guys put up. Good job. Keep up the great work. Dunder, thank you very much. We like to hear that. We are. I assure you that we are only polite in public and on stream. We are normal human beings that say a lot of bad things. Dunder Mifflin Brickco says you could also get another seller set. Get another seller set up on a video call to talk back and forth. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. I think it would be pretty good to have David come on and guest. I feel like we could have a lot to talk about. Funber Creations. In Australia, to have tracking, it costs about $9. If it is postage, it costs $5.50 or lower. I don't supply tracking numbers. Yeah, it just baffles me. Perhaps I'm just a spoiled American. But yeah, the idea of having someone guest is not a bad idea. Do you have statistics of how much the store grew every month apart from sales? Yeah. We have our we have a couple metrics. Obviously, we have our piece and lot, the beginning and end of month piece and lot count. We also save a BSX of everything that gets uploaded, so we can, if we wanted to, we can go back and compile those BSXs in order to determine the actual input, right? Because obviously pieces beginning of month, pieces end of month ignores how many have actually sold, so we can go ahead and figure out the actual amount added and stuff based off of that. We can also calculate the average value of a piece in the store, and what our inventory turn rate is. In theory, the inventory turn rate should increase as we move more. It should become harder to grow as more things sell. So there's kind of a metric. And then, obviously there's also a lot of other internal financial information in terms of if you want to measure success, in terms of cost cutting and stuff like that. Obviously there's all that, but we don't share our costs, so. Fidel says some pages have been translated, but everything else is purely in English. Interesting. Fidel, question: is English your first language, your second language, or did you learn Spanish and English simultaneously? Vincent says, are there any pieces you've had since the beginning? Yes. Unfortunately, we made an error in September. We wanted to find out whether or not the wanted list algorithm that compiles wanted list took the, whether it was operated off of a first in, first out, or if the time that a piece was uploaded had any impact on the chance of it showing up in search results or in the wanted list. And so we deleted our inventory and re-uploaded it. And so there is no history before September, which was not an intelligent thing to do. At least we should have written down all of that information before we did that. The conclusion was that there was no effect on sales from deleting and re-uploading the inventory. But before then, we did know that some pieces had been in the store since the very beginning. Yes. Unfortunately, we now no longer know what those pieces are, except a couple of them by memory. And also, we do not have information in terms of piece in, piece out for same lot. So if a lot has never emptied because more things keep going into it, we have no way to determine, obviously, whether any of the pieces in that drawer are the original piece from, years ago. But I don't really think that that's, necessarily the most vital, because obviously then they're selling. So. But my guess is that there are some pieces in drawer 1 through 230 that have probably been there since the very beginning. I would assume those are the oldest drawers. So Fidel says Spanish is my first language, but I've been in bilingual schools all my life. Plus, my parents are also bilingual and have consumed English media all my life. So, okay. So, basically, pretty close to being a native speaker, I would assume. Vincent, do you have a formula that automatically decreases the price if a lot doesn't move? No. We kind of just rather have a rule. Thing is, pieces... basically an arbitrary rule. As we gather more data on sales, this rule will change. We don't have an algorithm yet or a formula because we just don't have enough data and parameters to determine what the optimal move rate is yet, but we are compiling that data. But anyway, up until we get to that point where we can create a formula, basically 3 years. If a part hasn't sold in 3 years, we will start decreasing the price. But there's probably other ways to do it as well, and that's kind of what we're investigating. But we don't have any results yet. So. It also determines how much how much space it is taking up. For example, if there is, a minifig torso, a single minifig torso that is not selling, it is probably not worth marking that down if it is taking up such a minute space in the drawer. But if there is an entire drawer full of pieces and it's taking up a lot of space that could be replaced with a higher turning, more profitable piece, then that's a higher concern. So there's a lot of factors that go into it to determine, and then obviously the rate at which a piece sells on average is important too. If there's a piece that only occasionally sells site-wide, then we're more patient on it. Vincent says, how often do the prices get updated? Supposed to be every 2 weeks, but that rule, when people get around to it, but it's supposed to be every 2 weeks. The issue is there's no automatic way to do it on BrickLink. You have to download the whole inventory and then manually go through and do it, and then upload it in units of 2,000 or 3,000 lots so that you don't crash the BrickLink lot update website. So it's a multi-hour task. So sometimes it'll get put off, but I would say no more than a month before price is being updated. Also, whenever things get consolidated or the drawer gets edited or we upload pieces, that will be on that will be on whatever our current pricing scheme is. Fidel says, have you managed to increase your average order cost? I assume you mean, our average order sale. Let me look at it right now. And since when? If you mean since we started, yes. If you mean since before we made our free shipping change, I can find out right now. It fluctuates. Right now, our average sale is at $29.13, which is up 43% from this time last month, which is pretty nice. It's still not at the $34 it was when our free shipping was $35, but it's good, and we're probably saving some money by increasing our shipping to $50. Fidel says, one of my 2020 goals is to up my average order from about $380 in 2021 to $500. I assume that is in peso, not US dollar, because if that's in US dollars, I really want to have a little conversation and ask you what you are doing. Okay, pesos. Okay, that's comforting. If you were doing that much, whew. So question, Fidel. Are Legos... I don't know what the peso conversion rate is, but basically... That was a noise. Basically, is your supply cheaper, significantly cheaper than like supply here in the U.S.? When you go to a retail Lego store, is it priced based off of the per capita in Mexico, or is it priced based off of an international rate? I don't actually know what the international rates are on Lego, because we don't usually buy from other countries. But I am curious. 20 to 21 pesos equals $1. Okay. Interesting. So that's, let's see. So it's $23. That's actually pretty close to where we are for 500. Hello, David. Welcome. It's just me today, so I'm glad to see that someone has shown up to help keep the chat entertained. I was just saying that next time Evan abandons me, we should get some sellers on a call and do a little co-op stream here. But yeah, Dunder Mifflin says, is your free shipping still at $50? Yes, it is. And that's probably where it's going to stay. I'm not too sure if we are going to change that. But yeah, David, I'll reach out to you at some point the next time I know that Evan's going to be gone, and we can figure out something. I think it'd be pretty cool to do something like that. Vincent says, for Lego, 1 USD equals 1 euro. Interesting. Because that's not it's not an accurate conversion, so they are more expensive in Europe. Fidel says, Lego used to be cheaper here in the US, here versus in the US, but it's now way more expensive, somewhat restrictive for average income people. That's disappointing, especially considering that so much is manufactured there. Do you think that that's just because of COVID, or do you think that that's their new pricing scheme? Well, USD is 21 pesos for Lego. 1 USD can be between 22 and 25 peso. Interesting. I know I say interesting all the time, but huh. $1 Australian dollar is about 71 cents as of today when I just checked the conversion rates. Right, Australia does not use the pound, which is kind of interesting considering Australia's in the Commonwealth. But Vincent says, and the more north you go in Europe, it gets more expensive. I feel like that's probably generally true about most things. I have heard that Scandinavia is an extremely expensive place to live, but very nice. But also extremely expensive. Dunder Mifflin Brick Co. says, I think someone figured out at one point that Canada was the cheapest place worldwide to buy Lego. I forget what the numbers were, though. Huh, maybe we should move to the other border, the northern border, and run across. You know, I wonder... I wonder... No, I bet you in the border cities like Tijuana and stuff, it would be priced identically to how it is here in the U.S. Because it's only a 2-hour drive. Maybe I should go to a Walmart or a toy store in Tijuana and see how much Legos cost. That could be a pretty good video. Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's a day trip, so maybe I could do that. I don't speak any Spanish though, so I'd have to figure out a solution for that. But Fidel says, just new pricing. It got cheaper because the peso lost its value a bit versus the dollar, and it wasn't updated. But the price increase happened overnight in 2020, and it was rough. Very unfortunate. Hello, Chris. Welcome. Great to have you here. Been a while since we have seen you on stream. Well, me see you on stream. It's just me here today. Okay, I was supposed to put these somewhere. There's no way that these are extra. Ah, yes, they go right here. Alrighty, and that is bag 1 complete. Here we are. The beginning of the airplane. Chris says, yes, busy. I can imagine. Your store is massive. Funberg Creation says, correct. We use dollars, kilograms, and kilometers, plus liters, and we use millimeters, centimeters, inches, meters, and feet. Building trade uses a range of them all. Places in the world are very strange. Cran, I tried to buy on the US Lego website and ship to Canada because of the lower spend to get the vintage taxi. Sadly, it was not worth the foreign exchange premium. Disappointing. You know, depending on where you are in Canada, you could potentially just ship it to a P.O. box or address right across the border. Vincent says, apart from Switzerland and Luxembourg, they are an exception to the rule. Yeah. In terms of things being expensive. Or Liechtenstein. I really want to go there. I don't know. I want to do some point when I am the Elon Musk of Lego. I will go on a European road trip for like a year or more, just top to bottom. Funberg Creation says Australia is very confusing even for people who live here. I feel like that's probably everywhere. I feel like you probably really have to live in an area in order to understand how stupid it actually is. Fidel says, yeah, the border region has cheaper gasoline, higher wages, so stuff for them is generally cheaper, but cheaper compared to people from other Mexican cities. Yeah. Well, I was shocked that, like, I could get food in Mexico for, like, $2, which is, like, mind-blowing. If I want a taco here, it's going to be, like, at least $5. Funbrick, oh, I already read that. Thunder Mifflin says, I saw a meme of somebody that was really mad, and the caption was, when Americans see somebody using kilometers rather than glazed donuts per bald eagle. I will have you know that it is not glazed donuts. It's the glazed donut burger from Dunkin' Donuts, okay? Or, yeah, from Dunkin' Donuts, okay? It's the burger with glazed donuts for the buns and milkshake per bald eagle. That is the full and complete measurement unit, and I'm very offended by your lack of knowledge. Chris says, I've noticed that the AU does not pay VAT. AU as in Australia? Very interesting. Huh. Matt says, I live in Scandinavia. Managed to buy 30 pounds bulk of Lego for $19 this week. That's actually, let's see, what is that? I'm very bad at math, but I feel like that is under, like, $4 a pound. Yeah, $1.50, $7 per pound. That's pretty crazy. I mean, that's good. So, yeah. Assuming I did my math right. Fidel Ruiz says, paying for food in the U.S. for me is mind-blowingly expensive. Yeah, it is. It is insane. Very insane. Vincent asks, is there still a lot of corruption in Mexico? Chris says, how's our contracting network doing? We kind of reset. More info coming in the future, or you can DM Evan and I. But we're not quite ready to announce the shakeups, but we're kind of reorganizing stuff and getting ready to get a lot more people. Cran says, burger donut smile, or laughing emoji. Funber Creations, Australia pays tax. So far we don't have to pay taxes on BrickLink yet, luckily. Fidel says, sure, Vincent, if something has changed, it's changed for the worse. Interesting. Cause, well, I guess I don't want to comment on politics. It's technically Evan and I are not allowed to, per our business thing. But David says, record sales for retail today. Congratulations. You are. I'm honestly kind of surprised that the retail is like still consistently going, because it's been a bit since you've opened, and you're still doing pretty well. So, congratulations. Chris says tax refund into Lego. Very nice. Oh no, no. Okay, I gotta find that head now. It just went into the broken trash piece bin. No! Oh, I'm gonna have to dump it out. Alright. Saved. I moved a piece to try and grab it, and then it fell all the way down to the bottom of the bad piece bin. You know, I should move that so that doesn't happen. David says, I've been doing my social media digital branding overhaul, helping with SEO and foot traffic. I can imagine. We really need to get on that. Am I miss? Oh, there we go. All right, now we got to build Shaggy. All right, here's Shaggy. Pretty much what you'd expect. That may just be the same fig from the Mystery Machine. So, Chris, how have your sales been recently? In terms of, I guess, have they been improving or anything? Or have you noticed any kind of slowdowns recently? Because the last couple days here have been a little slow. But that's probably just because we have not added in like 4 days. So actually, no, I just added yesterday. So I don't know. Maybe sales were up today. I'd have to go look. But I've been doing the modified tiles category, which is not nearly as bad as miscellaneous, but still not the most fun task. Oh no, what did I do wrong? Chris says, sadly no planking anymore. Dirty concrete floor and I am on skates. Right, I forgot that you you do skates. That's gotta be an OSHA violation. But I guess you're the owner. But still, aren't you a little worried about like accidentally like grabbing onto a unit or something and unsecuring it? Because I'd be a little worried. Or zooming around at the speed of sound. Chris says, we're having a record year so far in sales and pushing orders. Awesome. Cran says, do you find orders come from adding parts alone or a combination of sending out notifications? Probably mostly adding parts. I think, and I think David agrees with me, most orders are wanted list orders. And so I don't really think the notifications have too much to do with that. I think it's more just BrickLink decides. Chris says, I've had a couple falls, but so far, praise God, nothing broken. Yeah, do you have health coverage to this store yet? Workers' comp? I told Evan that if we ever get a really big warehouse, we should get Segways. Unfortunately, I think Segways are a little bit of our price range, but it'd be very cool to have Segways. You could like even put like a picking basket on the front. I mean, you know, or a stocking basket for putting pieces away and stuff. I think Segways would be cool. You all gotta like message Evan and try and convince him that Segways are absolutely vital to the success of our business. David says upload. Yes, upload is important. Chris says we're getting orders from adding parts and having an excessive number of lots. Yeah. When we added all of our miscellaneous, we saw like an almost next day increase in in sales. So yeah, you really gotta upload every day, and like there's technically a delay. At least we've long maintained that there's a delay. I'm starting to believe that less and less. I'm starting to think that basically once the parts are in the system, they're in the system, and it's almost an immediate uptick in sales. So yeah, just add every single day. Dinner Mifflin says, I found that wanted list notifications help way more with used. They don't help too much with new. Interesting. Well, actually, you'd have to ask Evan that, because I never send out the wanted list notifications. That's one of his tasks. So I'm not actually certain what the frequency that he sends out notifications is. Fidel says, Canadian user sent me a DM a month ago asking for Lego buying tips in my state because he was coming over for winter vacations. Yeah, it'd be super cool to go travel and like, but there aren't really that many region exclusive sets. But I was gonna say it'd be very cool to kind of travel and pick up some Lego from all over the place. David says, uploaded 800 lots yesterday, 20 orders to pack today. You are just grinding, David. It's crazy. Chris says our average sales per order is 3012. Vincent says, imagine if your cart gets stuck at high speed with a Segway. You know, that's an acceptable risk, I think. I think it's worth it. We could even clear out an area of the store for races, So, I'm pretty sure that is an OSHA violation. But, if no one reports it. Okay, now I'm actually kind of curious how much Segways cost. Because I've never actually seriously looked at one. Not that it'd be completely pointless in here. I'm just kind of curious. Oh, they're $1,000. 500. Oh, we could get a go-kart. Okay, we could get a go-kart for $2,000. I think a go-kart would help the store exponentially. Electric roller skates. We could be like Chris. What about one of those electric bikes that all the kids around here have? Is that a mech? One sec. I might have just found the mech. This is a mech. Okay, we're getting a mech. It's got the arm controls and everything. This is stupid. I love it. Okay. Chris says, how many labor hours to pick 1,000 lots? I am not sure. I'd have to go. It's on a spreadsheet. Steve says, fit a cart with the go-kart engine with a jockey seat on it to pick orders. Yeah. Or, we could just get a robot to pick orders. Who needs the automated sorter? I need the automated picker. Why not a plane? Could decrease transcontinental shipping costs. I think that a private jet would be an excellent investment for just a brick in the bucket. I think that 5 labor hours to pick 1,000 lots. Well, I guess you pick an insane amount already, so I don't know how. I don't know. You've got some crazy speed, or maybe I'm just slow. Cran says, now that you mentioned it, Dunder Mifflin, I did have a couple orders of used minifigs and parts from one of the notifications I sent out. I don't know why I read the random things that don't have to that are not communicating with me. But yeah, Chris, I know, right? He's fast. I hate these circle stickers so much. Vincent says, also, you could write off all the profits for the rest of your life, more or less. But we would need some, we would have to be paying off the interest on that loan. David says, picked an 852 lot order in 108 minutes. Very impressive. You know, that actually doesn't sound... One order... Yeah, that actually doesn't sound too unreasonable. I mean, it's certainly fast. But, I mean, I think the having multiple orders would probably also slow it down, because people need to be more careful that they are putting things in the correct bin and stuff, so... I'm not sure if that would be replicatable with, you know, not that it takes very much time to make sure that you are putting stuff in the right stuff, but David says, my pace for multi-order is like 240 lots an hour. That's pretty impressive. How do you even count? Because, like, I'm trying to think, like... Because you pack your drawers, too. Like, stuff them. I guess you pour and pick. But, you know, David, I have an odd request for you. Could you set up a camera looking at you... profile-wise, and record your picking action, because I am curious about, like, your exact movement method. Sorry, Chris, I need to screenshot that real quick. That is that's getting screenshotted. Okay, that's going for posterity. Not to mock you, Chris, but Evan he complains about that all the time. David says I'll do it in like 20 minutes. Yeah, I'm very curious to track, like, by video frame, like what your movement is, in terms of, like, maybe training pickers on the most efficient movement method, which is like a real thing. You know, in terms of, like, you know, the science of efficiency, right, is teaching people the, like, actual, like, per action movement to be most efficient. So yeah, I'd like to do an analysis on your picking, and, like, your counting as well. I'm very curious. When you count, you are actually counting. You are not making an estimate, right? Like, you're certain that the number that you're picking is the actual number that should actually be there, right? I can't imagine that you estimate, right? I guess another question is, do you usually have high quantity? Like, would it be strange for you to have, you know, 100, you know, between 50 and 100 of a single piece in an order? Is that a common thing in your ordering pattern? Because it is for us. We get a lot of stuff that has quite high quantity, you know, per lot. So I cannot imagine picking 8 in a minute like that. And I guess the other question is, are those... Let's see. I count 50 to 100 2 to 3 times a day. Okay, I would say we do it way more than that. At least it feels like it. But I don't pick anymore, so I'd have to ask our pickers. I just catalog, more or less. Interesting. So, are those lots? Is that consolidated lots, or total lots? Because if it's consolidated lots, then obviously that's inaccurate. Fidel says my orders are usually 1 to 10 pieces per lot. I mean, I would say that we have a lot of them that are 1 to 10 pieces, but we definitely get a good amount that. David West says it's the Brick Freedom lots. Okay. Chris says I count 2 parts at a time, each hand into piles of 10. I do 1 at a time. Freddie Christie says hello. Hello, welcome. Or usually what I do is I scoop with one hand, and then I have a container, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, basically kind of pouring. Cran says, still a small store, but I got to move from Ziploc bags and bins to Acro Mills drawers soon. I just got an order last week for 500 plus parts into it lots, and it took me the whole day. Yeah, you got to get out of those bins and bags. Evan says I'm too aggressive on it, but I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate the bins and bags. Or the bags and bins, not bins and bags. If you can get your bins into bags, I'd be very impressed. But Acros are insanely expensive right now. Whichever store starts manufacturing their own Acros first is gonna rule. Funberg Creation says I count by 2, 5, or 10 depending on what the quantity is. Funberg Creation says I plan to add around 1,000 parts in the next few weeks. Pretty nice. Alright guys, I am going to eat on stream because I'm very hungry, and I have received cookies from my mother as a present, and they've been sitting there and I've been watching them the whole stream. And I am gonna eat some Girl Scout cookies. So, my apologies. Yelmer wants to know: are you using a counting scale with picking? That is a good question. I'd like to know that as well. Sorry for all this noise. We do not usually use one. We have one, and we use it for very high quantity. But usually it's just not accurate enough. Cram says crazy expensive for Canada, and Canada for Acro Mills too. Yeah, they're manufactured in the U.S., so I imagine all the raw plastic is just sitting on boats out in the ocean right now. Chris says scale when the piece count is over 75. See, that's definitely too low. Or at least our practice is a lot higher. We usually I'll usually count up to 300. Just because I feel like the scale isn't accurate sometimes. Freddie says, would you consider making mocks and selling them? I don't really think that it's very profitable within our business model. I mean, it's certainly possible. Republic Bricks exists, but I don't think he designs the majority of them. Yeah, I would not. But we also don't save sets to resell them for later. You know, so it's just Evan and I have the opinion to generally not diversify until we've mastered the niche that we are in. So eventually we might, but for now we want to keep going with this. Fidel asks, do you think BrickLink 6-month sales average take into account the crazy inflation rates we're having? Not yet. Since it's a consumer good, it will eventually correct, but I don't think it's corrected yet. We mark up. We've already started marking up, but depending on inflation, we may have to mark up more. You know, there's a lot of math in that, but basically, Chris is right. It's 6 months behind. Well, it's not exactly 6 months behind. It's, you know, weighted and averaged across 6 months. So, no. And I would say that it will take more than 6 months from now for it to correct, because people are. It's going to take a hot minute for people to stop spending, or to start spending. You know, at something. So. No, is the basic answer. David says you can thank Chris and I for raising the 6-month sales average. Likely, you have had a big part in it. Chris says, I'm getting nearly 3 times the 6-month sales average for nearly all orders. But how do you know that? Because your pricing is kind of all over the place. Or did you finally go ahead and standardize your pricing? Fidel says we also surpassed 7% inflation. It's crazy. Download orders to Brickstore. Duh. Yes. Yeah. I did not think of that. But have you corrected your, or I guess not corrected, do you have a pricing strategy, or are you just, just, it's too complicated to fix? Chris says what David said. Freddie Christie says, why are some containers not there in the storage slots in the backyard? I assume you mean on the wall. It's just because those drawers don't have anything in them. We don't store empty drawers on the wall. We stack them up. Can you guys see? Yeah, up there at the very top. Empty drawers go up there, and so we can fill them as needed. And so if there's nothing in them, then they don't go on the wall. Chris says, gotta go soon. Goodbye, Chris. It was nice having you jump in for a little bit. Man, I'm not doing too well with the sticker here. My Hogwarts sticker training is failing me. There we go. Dinner nearly ready. Have fun. Dinner sounds pretty good. Although it's only like, what, 3:30 or something like that here? Yeah, 3:30. Chris says, love to visit soon. Yeah, it would. It'd be super cool to do a meetup. I think it'd be really cool to get a pretty decent amount of, you know, the big sellers together and do something in person. It's just, everyone is always so busy, and, you know, airplanes are not cheap. David says he'll host. You know, we could always just throw down sleeping bags on the store floor. Although I'm not sure that anyone would want to rest on the on that floor. Do you clean your store very often, David? Chris says, thanks, David. Fidel says, first annual BrickLink convention. And Axios says, good evening. Yeah, BrickLink convention would be pretty cool. Alrighty, we're almost done here. And I'm going to go eat something. David says I'm buying a vacuum. Good. You should get a Roomba. Although I don't know if the Roomba can deal with Legos. Okay, so here is the plane. We've got a hamburger projectile, or hamburger bombs, of course. Oh, Scooby is flying. Okay. Not Shaggy. It's a little scary. Alrighty, here we are. The completed aircraft. Very nice. This will go nicely with the Mystery Machine. I'm still on the lookout for the Haunted Mansion, but I don't want to pay BrickLink prices for it. So if you're local and you have access to one, and you want to sell it for less than BrickLink sales average, hit me up. David says, would people watch an hour of video of picking? People watched like an 8-hour stream of Evan picking. Yeah, I'm not going to follow up that statement. Y'all watch weird videos. Oh, okay, guys. We've got to do something here before we end. It says I can download the Zapar app and scan the page for a play activity. So we are going to scan the page for a play activity here. Assuming that this still exists. Okay. Scan the page. Get started. Alright, so it looks like it's some kind of like AR thing. There's no QR code though. Oh, okay. Let's see. How can I show this to you guys? This is pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to need to walk around and show you my screen, and hopefully I don't get any odd text messages during this. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Here, let's rotate it. So we've got the wrong set here. Let's see. If I do this, will I get a different set? I don't know. But let's see. Hopefully you guys can see. I cannot actually see what is being shown. But we've got the Mystery Machine here. So let's see. If I go ahead and press play here, they get in. And then what? They're going to spin off. Okay. Oh, this is like a whole game. This is pretty cool. This reminds me of... okay, we're not going to play a game right now. But that reminds me of, like... if anyone had a 3DS, they had on the 3DS, like, AR stuff with, like, Pokemon and stuff. Very cool. Fidel says I did watch that 8-hour stream. I admire your bravery. Okay, well, that's basically going to be it for today. If there's anything else that anyone wants to say as last remarks. Gran says that's a pretty impressive Lego app. Yeah, it wasn't Lego branded. It was called Zapar, which I've never heard of before. But I assume it's a progenitor to the Hidden Side app. Which, does the Hidden Side app even still exist? I don't know. I have a Hidden Side set to build, actually. Kyle and I are supposed to build the Hidden Side set at some point. So if the Hidden Side stuff still exists, we will... because that theme died, right? I swear that theme died. Although maybe it's just the Mandela effect. But Kyle and I are going to build that at some point and play whatever the AR game is. But anyway, that has been it for today's stream. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll be back to normal next week with Evan and myself. Hopefully doing more productive stuff. But thank you. If you enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, join our Discord page, all that stuff. I'm going to go eat some food. Enjoy your guys' evening.